Hello and welcome to a day in 15 minutes UPSC Prelims Daily Current Affairs by Ekam IAS. Today is 11th February 2020 and the topics for discussion are the Convention on Conservation of Migratory Species of Wild Animals, National Crime Record Bureau's report on children and women trafficking, Agartala Akhara rail link, web portal for star rating of mines, Muktoshri rice, and finally Parth. Now coming to the first topic of the day, which is the Convention on the Conservation of Migratory Species of Wild Animals. Now this is in news because the 13th meeting of the Conference of Parties of the Convention of Conservation of Migratory Species of Wild Animals has been held in Gandhinagar, and the Conference of Parties, it is COP13. Now coming and talking about this, as I told you, the CMS COP13 will be held in Gandhinagar, and the conference is to be hosted by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change on behalf of India. The theme for this year's convention is Migratory Species Connect the Planet and we welcome them. Now coming and talking about the Convention on Migratory Species, which is also called as the Bonn Convention. Now understand, this is an environmental treaty under the aegis of the United Nations Environmental Programme, and the Convention of Migratory Species, as I told you, referred to as Bonn Convention, provides a global platform for conservation and sustainable use of migratory animals and their habitats. Now the CMS brings together the states through which the migratory species or migratory animals pass, and those states or countries are called as range state or range countries, and they lay a legal foundation for the internationally coordinated conservation measures throughout the migratory range of these species. Now it is the only global convention specializing in the conservation of migratory species and their habitats and migration routes. So this is a very important point. The Bonn Convention is the only global convention that does this. Now the Bonn Convention actually acts as a framework convention, as it encourages the range countries to conclude global and regional agreements for the protection of the migratory species. Now coming and talking about the appendixes or in these convention, first we have the Appendix 1, which consists of migratory species threatened with extinction, and then we have Appendix 2, which is migratory species that need or would significantly benefit from international cooperation. So there are two appendixes, Appendix 1 and Appendix 2. Now talking about the organizational structure of the convention, the Conference of Parties is the decision-making body of the convention, and basically this body meets once in 3 years. So there is a 3-year interval between every meeting. The Secretariat is provided by the United Nations Environmental Programme, and it is based in Bonn in Germany. Now understand, India is a party to the Convention of Migratory Species, and it has been a party since 1983, and India is home to several migratory species that includes the Amur falcons, snow leopard, black-necked crane, dugongs, marine turtles, humpback whales, etc. So there are many migratory species that is passing through India. Now coming to the next topic of the day, which is the National Crime Record Bureau's report on children and women trafficking. Now this is in news because Mumbai and Kolkata has seen the highest women and child trafficking cases according to the report done by the National Crime Records Bureau, that is NCRB. Now giving you a background regarding this, back in 2011, the Supreme Court actually constituted a panel which submitted its report in 2019, and that panel was of the NCRB, and it gave this report in 2019. Now the panel had asked the apex court to direct the NCRB to compile data on missing children and women to identify the areas prone for trafficking. Okay, now there are many findings from that report. Now according to the NCRB study, the common causes of trafficking were forced marriages, child labor, domestic help and sexual exploitation, and many other reasons in these same lines. Now according to them, Mumbai and Kolkata has reported the maximum number of trafficking cases, and Madhya Pradesh actually recorded the maximum number of cases of missing children, and Maharashtra reported the maximum number of cases of missing women. However, Maharashtra has shown a decline of over 41% in number of missing children in 2018 as compared to 2017. On the other hand, Assam has registered a growth of 41% as compared to the previous year in case of missing children. Now understand, of all these states, of missing women, Odisha has actually registered the increase of over 143% in 2018 as compared to 2017. So Odisha is really high in the percentage regarding missing women. Now, as a note, you have to keep in mind that the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crimes Global Report of 2018 on trafficking has actually indicated that a vast majority of detected victims of trafficking for sexual employments or sexual exploitation were basically females. Now, coming to the next topic of the day, which is the Agartala-Akhara rail link. Now, this is in news because the landmark rail line to connect the northeastern region of India with Bangladesh will be ready by the end of 2021. Now, coming and talking about this, on the completion of the line between Agartala in Tripura and Akhara in Bangladesh, it would pave way for the first train to run from the northeastern region to Bangladesh. So, that's a very important rail line. The link will connect Gangasagar in Bangladesh to Nishchitapur in India and from there to Agartala. Now, the Ministry of Development of Northeastern Region, that is donor, would be bearing the cost of laying down a track of 5.46 km on the Indian side, while the Ministry of External Affairs will be bearing the cost of laying a track of 10.6 km in the Bangladeshi side of the rail. Okay. Now, once completed, the railway link is expected to cut the distance between Agartala and Kolkata by more than 1000 kilometers, and it will also enhance India's access to Chittagong port in Bangladesh. So basically, it will lend full connectivity from the east to the west of Bangladesh, apart from enabling trade relations between the two neighbors, that is India and Bangladesh. So here you can see the image where the connection actually is going to take place. Now coming to the next topic of the day, which is the web portal for star rating of mines. Now, this is in news because a web portal was launched for the star rating of mines in India. Now, talking about this, basically in order to promote green, safe and sustainable mining practices using technology as a tool, the Ministry of Coal has actually launched a web portal for star rating of coal mines. Now, the portal enables all operational coal mines across India for self-rating their subsequent validation by Coal Controllers Organization or CCO for further evaluation and finally awarding the star rating. Now, all the mines will be given an official certificate by the CCO. In the CCO, the certificate, it will be mentioning the star rating and the particular reporting year, on which year that star rating has been given. Now, there are many criteria or many different, criteria for which the star rating is given. Now, the mines who has scored from 91 to 100% will get a 5-star rating. From 81 to 90% will get a 4-star rating. From 71 to 80% will get a 3-star rating. From 61 to 70% will get a 2-star rating. From 41 to 60% it will get a 1-star rating, and finally from 0 to 40% it will get no stars at all. Okay, now these are the different ratings policy of the coal mines of India. Now the portal will be providing a login to each coal mine for self-evaluation along with necessary documents for testimonials as well. Now coming to the next topic of the day, which is the Muktoshri rice. Basically speaking, Muktoshri rice is actually an arsenic resistant rice. Now talking about this new variety of rice was jointly developed by the Rice Research Station in Chinsura, which comes under the West Bengal's Agricultural Department, and the National Botanical Research Institute in Lucknow. So now this variant will be absorbing very less amounts of arsenic from the soil and water than other varieties. Okay, so in considering normal varieties, it absorbs water for its normal growth itself. In absorbing water, it will also absorb many of the pollutants that is there in the groundwater. However, in this case, the arsenic pollutant which is there, it is not going to absorb much of arsenic. So that is why it becomes a arsenic resistant rice. Now coming to the next topic of the day, which is Parth. Okay, now the Indian Army's College for Military Engineering with a private firm developed a gunshot locator called Parth. So basically Parth is a gunshot locator. Now this is much more cheaper than the ones that is being imported into India. Now this device, which is Parth, is capable of locating a bullet from a distance of 400 meters and will help to neutralize the enemy in a much more faster way. Basically speaking, during night time, when our forces are fighting the enemy in the night time, it is very difficult to locate from where bullet shots or any other enemy's artillery has come. But with the help of a gunshot locator, that can be quickly identified. Now, the ones that are being imported into India, each of these gunshot locators each of these units actually cost rupees of 65 lakhs. However, part that has been developed by India itself will only cost 3 lakh per unit. So that is why it's very, very important. So now coming to what is basically a gunshot locator, as I told you before also, gunshot locator is basically a system that locates gunfire, which otherwise it will be very difficult for armed forces to see from where the gunfire is actually coming. So that's all for today. If you have any doubts or queries, you can write down in the comment section below. For additional information, you can please log into our current affairs website, which is www.neoiascap.com. So thank you and good night.
Like, share and subscribe to our channel for more videos. Follow our website neoiascap.com for the detailed content and monthly prelims digest. Also join our current affairs exclusive test series through the website. And finally, participate in the daily current affairs prelims infotainment quiz at our Telegram channel, that is Neo IAS Prelims, at 9:30 p.m. every day. Thank you.